Ultimate Warrior himself.
Ultimate Warrior himself.
Where
What
to start?
Fucking idiot. Well, let's think. Try to remember the...
Started off in a tag
Yeah.
team with Sting, of all
For
fucking
the-
people.
For Memphis and the UWF.
I think they were both found in the gym, really, weren't they?
Yeah.
Neither of them were interested in wrestling.
No, Warrior especially never
Yeah.
looked that interesting.
You know what? He always saw his money.
Yeah, they took that way. They went to Memphis as the Blade Runners.
Blade Runners, yeah.
Cool name, that's about it though.
Yeah. Split up and then became. And then he became. Was it? Did he go Dingo
He
Warrior straight away?
went to Texas, the Dingo Warrior, because Kevin.
There was too many Warriors
Yeah,
already.
there was more Warriors you could stick at, because there was the Kerry Von Erich was the modern day Warrior.
Modern Day Warrior.
Then you had the Road Warriors on the other
Yeah.
channel, so they couldn't mix two, so they had to go with the
Dingo Warrior.
Dingo. What's a Dingo? It's like a Australian.
Dog. It's like a. Yeah, it's like a. Yeah.
Fuck's sake. that'll draw money. Obviously, because of his size, he then attracted the attention of the
Vince.
WWF.
And then when Vince was poaching talent from everyone, he was like, well, there's the modern day warrior, there's the road warriors, you're going to be the best of them all, you're going to be the ultimate warrior.
Yes, the Ultimate Warrior, my God. And was nicknamed by the Dirt Sheets the Anabolic Warrior, which
That's
that's quite good actually, yeah. That's
very on the nose.
That stuck for a very, very, very long time.
Very on the nose and in the arm.
Yeah, there you go. And, yeah, it's a strange one, because he came in, on the one hand, you got to admire Warrior, because he was told by many of the veterans when he came in not to run to the ring, not to have tassels, not to have face paint, work along a match, that sort of thing. And he said, no, I'm going to do it my way. And
It worked.
it worked. He made more money, and he was the guy to dethrone Hogan. And
Yeah, and
believe me, a clean win over Hogan in the 80s
and
or
then
90s
was that WrestleMania 5?
6. But
6.
Yeah,
And then
was-
that's the famous. Looks like he's getting head.
Yes, the ultimate blowjob.
Enter hit.
It still holds up now as a spectacle. Yeah,
Only because it's a time and it's not the best match, but
No.
because it's such a crucial moment of wrestling history.
yeah,
That
yeah.
it's like, oh okay, it's not bad. Stereotypical Hogan, he still has to get himself over and hand the belt
Oh yeah,
and hold his hand, still get his hand raised somehow, even if it's holding a
Yeah.
Warrior's hand to
Yeah.
do the ring.
I remember they had little carts, and he's
Yeah,
going off the
yeah.
carts. He's like, he's sulking. You think, oh fuck's sake, Hogan, just you're going to go off and make films now.
Yeah.
Just let the fucker have his moment for once. Let someone else have a look in for once. Now you're not around for a year. I'm trying to think what they did. They did a SummerSlam match with Rude in a cage, which was decent.
Oh, you had the pose off, then the
You had
cage.
a Survivor Series match with him. That was all the Warrior. I think that was all the Warriors, wasn't it? That was the Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
Kerry Von Erich, the modern day Warrior, then the Road Warriors, all in one match against Demolition and Perfect. That was fun. Then by January time, it's sort of like, this guy ain't really drawing.
Who did he drop the belt
Oh,
to?
fuck the Sergeant Bloody Slaughter.
Oh, it was that. I don't know, was that Hogan?
Yeah,
and then
it
that
was-
was the Iran Hogan.
Macho Man Run, it's the first time I ever heard a bullshit chant, from a crowd, because they weren't happy with that finish. Because Slaughter at this point looks fucking knackered, bless him. He was past it at that stage.
Oh, beyond.
And then obviously we get Warrior and Savage with the retirement match. Then it goes, Warrior wins that. Warrior's best match by far, there's no argument there. That's Warrior's best outing. From there on in, after that, he just sort of, I can't remember what else he does at that point, but then he has the match made in hell, quite appropriately named. It's Sheiky Baby, Slaughter, and General
Oh,
Adnan.
that one.
Against
Mega Powers.
Against Warrior and Hogan with Sid Justice as a referee.
That, yeah.
And that's when he held him up for money and then was gone the following day.
Sure.
Then he disappeared. He comes back in 92 and he's comparatively smaller.
When he's got this singlet.
Yeah,
Because he hasn't probably got the abs anymore.
No. And everyone thought it was Von Erich at the time.
It does look, it looks a lot more like
because
him.
he was so much smaller. He's around he lasted about 8 months there and then goes over the steroid scandal because he got busted.
He was going to rat him.
HGH, and let's face it, if you're going to use someone as a scapegoat, you're going to go with Warrior then.
Yeah. If Hogan dropped Vince in it, there was no way that Warrior wasn't also going to.
Yeah. So that was that, and then obviously he makes this wonderful cinematic masterpiece here. He's then away till 96. He has a few indie matches here and there.
Yeah, he did one or two for Killer Kowalski.
Yeah.
I'm guessing maybe as a favour in a sense.
Opened a gym.
Mm,
Fucked about for a bit, I don't know.
pretty much.
There was always a rumour about male prostitution with Warrior. I don't know where that one came
I
from.
wouldn't be surprised. Maybe in the earlier
But,
days, yeah.
You never know with these people. Then we get to the 96 run. He lost, let's think, WrestleMania through to...
Was that the WrestleMania match against Triple H then?
Yeah,
Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
yes. I fucking love that match. 'Cause
Triple H just bumps like a boss. He's not getting anything in
Yeah,
return.
he gets nothing out of it, but he does.
Does a
try.
Warrior.
He does a Warrior with it, you know. I think Warrior wrestled for about 18 minutes throughout the entire run of that year, you know, all in all, ring time, bell to bell. Beating legendary figures like Isaac Yankem and I think that's about it, really.
Pretty much, I don't know any potty jobbers apart from that.
I think that's about it. He beat Yankem on Raw and Triple H. Oh, Jerry Lawler, of course, as well. That was fun. And that's about it, basically. Along this time, we get the fun of Warrior decides to become a comic book artiste, basically. And we get to about episode 3, and it's got weird shit in there. It's like a bit there where he's got Santa Claus all fucking tied up in bondage, he's whipping him and shit, and there's like some queering going on there.
Warrior fever dream.
Yeah, and then the first episode, like in beautiful colour, and the artwork is really, really good. I'd put over the eyes, so I don't know. But the artwork is very, very good. By about the third episode, the magazine's not in colour anymore. Which is always a sign that, you know, it's like...
Budget's gone.
Budget's going for this. Then by about the fourth one, I don't know if you spread this on their TV, and Warrior University, which I still don't know what the fact that is. But yeah, from there on in, we have the whole part where they have a falling out and over licensing agreements, and Warrior says to Vince, well, if you buy 1 million of my comics at $1 a piece, then we'll be cool. And Vince's like, nah, all right, mate. And then he disappears sort of around about this point again.
Yeah.
We hear that Vince tried to get him back in '97. It's a really funny one because he gets rid of Brett because he can't honour that contract. And then all of a sudden he's started floating an offer out to Warrior. You think, okay, so you're trying to capture the Warrior magic for the fourth time, sorry. Warrior doesn't do that, he goes to WCW. We have that trapdoor shit. He wrestles 3 matches.
And then his first, then I think his first appearance on Nitro, he cuts like a fucking 15-20 minute promo, which they literally, I think they go off the air with him still talking.
He wanders about the place banging on about evil and righteousness and destrucity and bullshit.
Yeah.
And Hogan has to act scared for 20 minutes of him. And Bischoff's looking at him thinking, stop fucking talking. You're wasting millions of dollars here, you prick. He's in a War Games match where he wins it and there's a bicep injury. He comes back 4 weeks later. He then has a match where it's he and Sting against Bret Hart and Hulk Hogan, a tag match, about 9 minutes long on Nitro, doesn't go anywhere. Then he has the infamous match with Hogan at the Halloween Havoc, which...
the fire paper, flash paper.
Yeah. Hulk gets his win back, and then it's bye-bye Jim.
Yeah.
Then after that, Orlando Jordan in Madrid. In Madrid.
Or Barcelona, for the NWA title, this is after 2010, but that far away. Jordan's been to WWE, had his whole run. This is before, Orlando Jordan, in between leaving WWE, or getting released, I should say, and going to TNA and being androgynous.
Yeah, that's one word for it. Does androgynous mean shite?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, okay.
Just, this whole... I'm just
he done that fucking...
the cross...
the cream off. He fancied a bit of Rob Terry, the big Welsh fella. He's even bigger than Warrior at this point.
Yeah.
And to promote it, he sort of spunks a load of cream over him. And Rob Terry's like, I'm knowing that, you queer.
Pretty much.
He's a big Welsh fella. He's like, I need you dirty bugger, aren't you? Play that boy. Boy, you're not doing that for me. And I think that's about it. I don't remember anything else there.
No,
Warrior was approached for TNA in the early stages, but then trying
to
up Jerry Jarrett for more money, and that weren't going to happen. Around this time, he tried to make a TV show. I don't know what the fuck that was called, where he just bullied some rock bands.
Asking Alexandria.
Yeah,
he did a couple on YouTube. Yeah, it was just like the Warrior Gym, and he would just get bands that are on tour, like jockeys, alcoholics, and stuff like that, and just for some reason just do 24-hour things, put them in, try and get them in shape. And it was a shame because none of these bands, or maybe one person in the band in these episodes would know who he was. The rest would be like, I don't watch wrestling. It was wasted. It had good potential.
But it's just he'd make these kids have loads of weights on them and try and run them for carpet. I need you to shout, "You're pathetic! Yeah. You are a weak man! And you are not a strong warrior like me!"
And they probably had to cut around him calling him fags and homos.
Oh yeah, it was edited to buggery.
Yeah, because this is around about the time where he was I think this is slightly after he'd been trying to run for mayor of his town and office. And there's videos of him doing speeches saying it's the queers that are the problem.
Yeah,
and it's like, oh fuck. And this is also the time where he has legally changed his name to Warrior.
Queering Doesn't Make the World Work was one of the good ones.
Yeah.
Right there.
But he legally changed his name to Warrior because he thought that would stop Vince from using the name Ultimate Warrior.
Well, yeah, to his credit, he's stuck down for a bit of money over the years with a court case in the 90s.
Yeah.
And then later in the 2000s.
And then that's when the WWE decided to release the Destruction of the Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
Where everyone in the company slates him.
When they buried him, yeah.
Yeah, and then he comes back to the Fed later on when they did, I think it was WWE 2K 17 or 18 around that time. Because they made a special edition was him coming back.
Yeah, it feels lovely.
He did one or two appearances on Raw. And it was just fucking weird. And then they released another DVD of his actual good matches.
Yeah.
And you could see it was the exact same interviews as the ones that were slagging him off, but they had used the other footage when they were saying good things. Like Vince knew this was going to happen the whole time.
Yeah.
And then not long after that, he died.
That's like the Homer Simpson fucking confession, isn't it? Sweet can. I touched her sweet can. I can't stop thinking about her sweet can. It's like that shit. Was fucking terrible. But you had that. I remember that was brilliant. And then that's about you, because you always had little bits and bobs here and there, that sometimes some promoter in Buttfuck I know is going to try and get him in or something, or TNA floated an offer or something. You always get doing little bits and bobs. Then he finally returns about 2012, 13, 14, so a few years back. Does their Hall of Fame, he gets a chant of one more match. He gets a lovely little documentary on the network. Hogan buries the hatchet. Well, the actual thing is brilliant because Hogan claims he buries the hatchet, but he literally stops, talks to him 30 seconds, runs away before Warrior can say anything.
Yeah.
And Warrior's with his kids, so he's probably not going to kick off for once. And then he dies about 2 days later.
Surprising. Yeah, very.
Yeah.
No, and yeah, like looking back at it, I never remember seeing anything posted anywhere about Warrior having health conditions or anything like that.
No. Well, his father died young, and I'm guessing that maybe it's a hereditary thing, but.
And the amount of steroids.
I was going to say all that fucking growth hormone probably didn't help that, to be honest, But that's fucking weird because he was always a funny. He wasn't the nicest of people, let's be honest. No. He always had some strong opinions about things. And in today's reactionary world, bloody hell, he'd be eaten alive. But I always liked him because when I first started watching, I was about 11 years old. And he was exactly what you want when you're 11 years old watching wrestling because he's just an enormous force of nature and a brightly coloured character who just doesn't do any of that arm drag shit, basically. So that's what we want. And that was what I was ranting about the promos, but when he done those promos, he was talking to children, so you kind of let it go in a way.
Apart from the one where he did the promo about being a pilot of a plane and crashing it.
Yeah.
That was a bit fucking weird.
Well, they're all fucking weird. All the promos are fucking weird.
They're all weird, but that one was a bit like, oh, fucking hell, okay, what's going on there?
There's one on one of the Saturday nights where he opens with the expression, "Fear is the first breath of cowards," which I always think is the funniest line ever. And, anytime I've got a little anxiety moment, that's the first pops in my mind. Warrior going, "Fear is the first breath of cowards." You got that one where he's doing an anti-smoking advert where he's got like fucking 80 cigarettes in his mouth, like, I'm gonna die. And,
I'm sure he must have been second place to Hogan the whole time as a merch machine.
He must. Well, yeah.
Like the face paint, the tassels. I know they sold the masks, which had the face paint on. Like, I always wanted to get one. I keep looking on eBay to see if anyone's ever selling one of the original plushies that you always used to see people have like at SummerSlam '92. But they've all got them in the crowd.
Yeah. That's a weird old one. Like I say, there's a lot of. Warrior's a strange one. Like I say, I can't say I hate the man. Well, actually, as a person, he sounds like a bit of a div.
Yeah.
I can't say I hated his act or his performance.
Take out WCW. Take out WCW and you can't really go wrong because the matches are all short. And then whenever he has had a long match, the only 2 or 3 long matches he's had, which are over like, let's say 5 minutes really in a sense with his matches, it's either Triple H at Mania, it's either Hogan or it's Macho Man. Like, those are good matches.
Yeah. There's some rude carriage on there as well.
Yeah.
A few times.
Oh yeah, Rick could do well. Plus you got Bobby Heenan as well there for Haptics, so they're always good.
And of course there's the matches with Bobby Heenan and the Weasel suit and stuff.
Yeah.
But, there's some good stuff there.